Science got the formula.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. How y'all doing? This is Kemo, representing the Carolina Arguments podcast, and this is episode 4. And today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Like I said, like I always say at the beginning of the past 3 episodes, we're gonna be doing a couple of different things. So that means the structure is not always going to be the same. The format is not always going to be the same. And today I'm by myself, and I just kind of want to, run through a couple of things that's kind of on my mind, you know what I mean? Ain't no riffing. If y'all thinking it already, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Ain't no riffing with me and Cal. My dude just busy, so, we got to keep the content flowing, and, yeah. My brain works perfectly fine, so that's what we're going to do, is keep the content rolling. When he can be here, he going to be here. When he can't, we're going to keep the content moving. That's just how it go. That's just how it rock. It's all love. But yeah, couple of things on my mind. Couple of things to get off my chest and even just run through real quick, and hopefully especially like the YouTube audience, hopefully y'all will get engaged in the conversation in the comment section and whatnot, and bounce a couple of things back my way, and we'll move from there. But first thing I want to do is go ahead and address this, and I know I'm probably gonna have to rehash this after this episode goes up, and eventually have to come back to it. But I had a rough weekend, man. First of all, Sunday, alright, for those who don't know, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I've been one ever since the 90s, ever since that team with Emmett and Troy and Playmaker, and, I've been riding ever since. Die hard, no fold, no bend. But what's had me agitated lately is this situation with Dak. And it has me agitated and in a place where I don't want to be, but I'm there because of, I'm there because of certain things that I believe and certain things that I feel strongly about. And Dak's situation, playing on this franchise tag and without a long-term deal, it upsets me and irritates me and rubs me the wrong way, because I watched this man basically do everything Tony Romo did for that franchise in a fraction of the time. And Jerry Jones did not hesitate to give Tony Romo $100 million. On the other hand, you got a situation with Dak where it's just like, well, we'll see, and no, we don't want to do this, and no, we don't want to do that. We're not going to agree to this. But in the same breath, you say, oh, when it comes to writing checks, I don't get cramps in my hand, and that's true. Jerry Jones hands out money to black people like like the welfare officer in the mid-90s. You know what I mean? Like he just bang it's like the Oprah show. You get a million, you get a million, you get a million. It's all over the place. But so you paid Zeke, you pay Amari, you pay D Law, you pay, who else did he pay? But y'all get my point. You pay these boys, and you don't get the humming and hawing about it. But a black quarterback, now you hesitant. Or now you want to make sure you're extra. And let's be clear. I understand completely that uh, Jerry Jones is a very shrewd. Well, I don't necessarily want to say shrewd. I don't know the man personally. I ain't never done business with him, but like he's a very like when he want to get a deal done, he gets that deal done. Y'all heard him say that. Y'all have heard others, including the talking heads on TV and whatnot, say the same thing. When Jerry Jones wants a deal done, 9 out of 10 times that deal gets done, and that's apparently in owning this team and this franchise as well as in his personal business, which I can't think of what it is right now. But like when that man want a deal done, he get it done. And so to say that you and Dak and his agent couldn't come to an agreement to give this man some long-term security, and you want to say, oh well, you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, so you're gonna get all of these extra incentives in terms of endorsement deals and whatnot. Look here, what I do, well, how I make my money on the side ain't got nothing to do with whether or not I'm well. I mean, it does, but at the end of the day, that don't factor into how much money I make and how what money I'm making as a Dallas Cowboy. You know what I mean? And so like it's bothering me because my dad always told me the story that at one point in life he was absolutely a Dallas fan, and I never fact checked this, but you know my pops is a pretty straight up dude, so I and if it's flawed or if it's wrong, then I'll apologize even to my dad. But like it's my understanding that at some point in the earlier years they had an opportunity or had a black quarterback and they basically did him dirty. And so like ever since that, my dad was like, ABC, I root for anybody but the Cowboys. And this kind of has me understanding how he got to that point. You know, it's like, why wouldn't you? What? And then, like I said, going back to my my weekend, Sunday, of course, everybody knows Dak goes down, broke his ankle, probably going to be out. Not probably. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. And honestly, in my opinion, I think they're going to end up franchising him again, which, again, I'm not cool with. And, you know, they talking this, oh, we going to take care of him and he in good hands and da-da-da-da. But up until now, you've shown me otherwise. So I don't want to go off of that, what you saying as far as you going to take care of him and whatnot. So I'm just going to wait and see, and I'm not going to pass judgment, but that's just where I am with it. So like, that was the first thing that kind of had my Sunday like, ugh. And then Sunday night, the freaking Lakers win the championship. So let's be clear. I don't have anything personally against the Lakers. I've never been a fan. I wasn't a Kobe fan. And I'm definitely not a LeBron fan. Like, dude, you just rubbed me the wrong way for so many reasons. And what I won't do is go into the Jordan LeBron GOAT conversation right now, especially when this is basically a monologue. And those conversations are a whole lot more fun when it's actually a conversation or a debate as opposed to a monologue. So I'm not even going to touch on that, but like it did rub me the wrong way because I don't like LeBron in the least bit. Like, this dude is, he is a lot of things, and I'll be honest, I'm a hater. I'll say it, I'll own it. You know, Cal will tell you when he get back, he might have said it in a previous episode or whatever, but I'm a hater. And so like, I ain't got no quarrels about saying it flat out. I don't like him. You know, I feel like this thing was set up for you at an early age. Like when you was in high school, these deals was already being done, bro. You wrapped a freaking Hummer around a light pole and like a day later had a brand new one. Where'd the money come from? That's just how I saw it. But even then, I was like at that time, even when I saw that and took note of that, at that time in history, at that time in my life, at that time in whatever, it was like, all right, this dude can ball. You know what I mean? I used to play. You know, I didn't make it to that level. Did my little stint in JUCO, and so like having being someone who has played the game, I'll never ever discredit a man who can flat out ball. I'll never do that. So please understand that that ain't where my hate comes from. I ain't never said, nor will I ever say the man can't play or the man don't have talent. The man is a physical anomaly. Now, with that being said and acknowledged, I'll also say that, like, that it's the mentality, it's the decision making, it's the what will you and won't you do that brings me to a point of dislike. It's also the constant force feeding him to you that brings me to a point of disdain for him. Like, bro, what you're not gonna do is just stick LeBron in my face 6 days a fucking week and try to make me like him. Especially if I already got shit about him that I don't like, then that's just what it is. And so, like, the news and TV and all of that, it doesn't make it like, I feel like some people fall for it, and the more they get fed LeBron, the more they just love him. And for me, it's the opposite way. The more you shove him in my face, the more that this thing grows. And I know that man don't make it that don't bother him in the least bit, or maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know anything, but like, I understand, like, this ain't personal. For me, it ain't personal. For him, it ain't personal. This just, excuse me. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. And yes, we do get a certain level of invested in entertainment, but at the same time, it's entertainment. So, like, my day ain't hinging off of my disdain. Like, my day ain't driven by my disdain for LeBron. Nothing like that. This is just us having conversations and monologues and all of that stuff. But yeah, so like, oh shoot, I done lost it. I done ran it and forgot where I was. But yeah, so, oh yeah, him coming out of high school. Like, in high school, I was a fan. Well, not a fan, but I was like, this guy can ball or whatever. But now it's this point of, it's the force feeding. And my disdain is further than that. You know, it's like, the dude he's seriously lacking footwork wise. Like, I was highlights of the last game flash as they're saying, okay, they won the championship, and they showing highlights, and I'm watching highlights of this man walking, like picking up the ball, taking 4 steps after picking up the ball, and then shooting a layup, and the ref not batting an eyelid. Like, yo, last time I checked, them wasn't the rules of the game. But this is y'all king. A man who can't count 1-2 step layup. You know what I mean? Like, and we've seen it his whole career. He has horrible footwork. He cowers from the free throw line because he's a poor free throw shooter. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but like, some people interpret this part as a moral dilemma that I feel that, but whatever. Some people call it a moral dilemma, but me personally, I don't feel like he has as much of a team mentality as they try to make it seem. Like, bro, when you win, it's all about you. When you lose, it's everybody's fault but yours. And if they pointing the finger at you, you trying to discredit it as quickly as possible. Just like this Danny Green shot. The first, when Danny missed that shot and they got on you, and even Dame Lillard was like, yo, I would have shot over both of their asses. The first thing you did was run to the defense. Oh, well, Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr. Hell, Jordan trusts Steve Kerr. And by that time, Jordan trusted Steve Kerr, and he knew he was going to knock that shot down. And what did Steve Kerr do? He did his job, and he knocked it down. Everybody know Danny Green is hit or miss in that situation, especially this year. From what I've seen this year from Danny Green, he has been shaky. You know what I mean? He has the capability, but he ain't always consistent. Like, this year, Danny Green reminded me a whole lot of the inconsistency of how Chris Middleton was. Like, he could give you a boost, but he's got to be on for that to happen, and ain't no telling when he gonna be on. So the first thing you do is holler about a holler Jordan name. Well, that's fine. That's fine. You know. Maybe you should have shot it. Maybe you made the right basketball play and you kicked it out. But you didn't. Me personally, I don't find it necessary to jump to that defense and call Jordan name. Oh well, nobody said that when Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr. Bro, we talking about you. You passed that ball, so own it. You know what I mean? You've thrown many people under the bus when you lost. And even the Kyrie situation, when Kyrie hit the shot and you won, you know what I'm saying, just in the way you carried yourself, you could tell that there was something there. Like, yo, but what about my block, man? Come on, bro, really? But anyway, you're an egomaniac. So I get it. I understand. You gotta make sure. And the post-interview speech, the post-win speech or whatever, says it all. Like, bro, you want your damn respect. And in my opinion, the real ones, like if you really that dude, you don't beg for your respect. You get it. You go get it. You know what I mean? Like, Jordan ain't never make no speech about his respect. But never mind that, because I don't want to make this about just Jordan and LeBron. AI ain't never had to beg nobody for his respect, and he ain't got not one ring on his finger, but the respect is there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But, so yeah, that was my weekend. Well, that was my Sunday. That was kind of like, yeah. And of course, soon as the final horn went off, Kyle texting me, LeBron, and I'm like, bruh, get out of here. Don't do that. If you want to do that, we'll settle. We'll address this come time, whereas we can do it properly. But yeah. So let's see what else. There's that. I don't know if y'all watched the Townhouse. You can't really call them debates because they weren't debating. They basically had two separate townhouse situations. But yo, my man Trump don't care. Like, bro, I watched, not watched, but like I saw like the highlights and clips and whatnot from the first debate and went back and watched as much as I could. And just like we said on that, that episode following it, like for me it was entertaining. And in his solo townhouse, the man did not disappoint me personally. I was entertained. Like, this dude strong armed this thing out the gate. She trying to ask questions and he like, nah, let me ask you some questions. You know what I mean? And once again, he's asked to, denounce or shun something that is frowned upon, and instead he kind of plays it to the background, tosses it aside, and use the opportunity to take shots at the opposition. Which, don't surprise me. That's kind of like a go-to strategy for him. But that's him. That's him. That's what it is. But I think it's hilarious because like she didn't stand a freaking chance. People talked about how soft the dude, and she tried. She tried, but like she didn't stand a chance, bro. She didn't. Like, he was just strong arming it, and it got to the point to where, as I realized, he was asking her more questions than she was asking him, and so it was kind of a good thing that the temperature shifted to the audience questions. But that was entertaining to say the least. In other news, no, I'm serious. Let's see. I just saw where some people is kind of, once again, Nick Cannon is kind of in the infamous spotlight because apparently on his podcast he has done an interview with Richard Spencer, who is kind of he's a neo-Nazi supporting kind of dude, if he's not one himself. But yeah, Nick does an episode with this guy, and the headline that I saw read that basically, yeah, Nick Cannon gives an anti-Semitic neo-Nazi a platform. And at first, I kind of was like, ugh, that's nasty. Especially coming off the comments that you made. And I don't know if I want to delve into that, the initial comments that, kind of put Nick in the situation that he's in now. But, like, after those comments, like, that's a nasty look. And I completely understand that and see that. And like I said, that was kind of my go-to. Then I got curious. And so I was trying to find more bits and pieces of the interview because at the time of me stumbling across it, there was just one clip of them two kind of ping-ponging Columbus Day. And it caught my attention. So I'm like, all right, let me go see if I can find some more of this, just so I can, if I'm going to speak on it, I would like to be somewhat informed. And I wasn't able to. But what I did find kind of made me ask a question, And that question is, yes, I absolutely understand that Nick Cannon giving that dude that platform after the comments that he made that cost him wilding out and that deal or whatever with Viacom. It's nasty. It's not a good look, bruh. Like, I get that. But then I also have to consider what I found, which was this same guy had an interview where he sat down with Charles Barkley and another black guy that I cannot identify. And that, oh my God, that snippet that I saw, oh man, it got crazy. Like, this dude, he's he knee deep in that thing, man. Like, he's full on a white supremacist, at least from what I saw. And like, I don't love Charles Barkley's take on certain things pertaining to the black community all the time, but he had Charles Barkley thrown back. Like, you could see Charles like looking sideways and almost damn near gasping at some of the stuff that was coming out of this dude's mouth, and it was hilarious. But yeah, so like, I'm like, do we really beat Nick Cannon up for this? Because like I said, I find there's Charles Barkley and another gentleman sitting down with this man, like sitting down with him, interviewing him, and kind of having discourse. And then there's also a snippet of I think the guy's name is Roland Martin. If y'all can, y'all help me out with that, but I think that's who it is. It's Roland Martin, I believe. And he did an interview with him. So like, and I don't remember it being the firestorm, because I'm by myself, so I ain't got Cal provoking me. So this little episode of just me might be a little bit cleaner than some or most. And I know some people might appreciate that. And tangent, but yeah, I'll apologize if some people feel that we get a little nasty, a little vulgar or whatever. But we're always gonna be us. And a lot of people know that my the way I speak, it does change. It varies sometimes under my own control, sometimes just because it happens. You get comfortable with certain people and you talk with certain people a certain way, That's just how it goes. But yeah, so like, Roland Martin. Roland Martin also did a interview, and again, this dude was he was there and he did what he do and he say the things that he say and he was who he is, and I don't, to my knowledge, like for me to stumble upon those two interviews after coming across, oh, Nick Cannon gives this guy a platform and he's kind of getting battered around for it or beat up over it. And then I just stumble upon those interviews. That gives me the impression that those gentlemen, Charles Barkley, the gentleman that did it with him, and Roland Martin, were not under the same scrutiny as Nick. Now, granted, those gentlemen may not have made the kind of statements that Nick made prior to doing those interviews with him, but I still don't think it's a great look. Like, I don't see it. Like, I have certain beliefs and I stand on certain things regarding the black community. So you might get an episode where I have an ally on and we chop it up and we talk, but you'll never get an episode of this show, of this podcast, and Kemo sitting there with a white supremacist. Kemo sitting there with somebody who avidly supports the ideologies and that are represented by the Confederate flag. Like, I'm from South Carolina. Like, I grew up in this. Like, I'm one of the ones who I still don't eat Maurice's barbecue, and he gone. And people, that's funny because, like, I can admit to eating it when I was younger because, that wasn't explained to me. That wasn't told to me. And I made that decision after I was in 8th grade or had just finished 8th grade, and the Confederate flag protests and all of that popped up. And when he really, really kind of got brazen about the situation and was really, really open about his, his prejudiceness, his racistness, or whatever you want to call it. And I personally made the decision, along with a lot of other black people, that you're not going to get my money. And now it's to a point where I see a lot of black people that patron that restaurant, and I can't be one of them because I know what this guy stood for. And I understand, like, people hit me with, oh well, he's passed and the family's got it now, but his name is still on that building. And to me, I feel like for me, don't get me wrong, I don't feel like you can change the name and bait me back in there, but I'm saying, like, his name is on that building, so it's like a constant reminder of how he felt in his ideologies and the ideologies that he were aligned with. And so, no, you still can't get my money. And I'm sorry, but I ain't saying you do nothing to prove to me that you're in opposition of that man's ideologies. You ain't changed the name, which that's fine. That's your family. You want to respect that name and keep it, and that's fine with me. That don't mean I got to spend my money with you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, y'all. Again, and y'all, by now, if you've heard at least one episode, then you know I'm going to do that. I'll draw blanks. I'm 35 now. It happens. Get used to it. Oh, well. Some of y'all probably lose stuff faster than I do. But, yeah, like, that's what we dealing with. That's what it is. And you make your decision based off of information. That's why information is, that's the value of information. It allows you the things that you need. It affords you the things that you need to make a decision. That's why they call it informed decisions, But me personally, I can't get down with it. Especially once I know that's where you stand and it's in direct opposition to me, then no, I can't support you. I can't allow you a platform. So, I'm not going to kill and shred Nick for it, but I wouldn't have done it, especially after making those kind of comments. So, yeah. Good luck, buddy. You gonna need it. Because I'm pretty sure they might be coming for you once again. Or they just done trying to kind of, and maybe I'm wrong, and they just done threw you to the wolves like, yo, we ain't even gonna concern ourselves with this guy anymore. It is what it is. Excuse me. I think oh, that was the other thing. Jumping back, and I know I still got to work on the structure and the format of the content and whatnot. But jumping back to some sports shit. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but me personally, Ty Lue just apparently agreed to become I'm sorry, I got distracted. Ty Lue just reported to become the head coach of the Clippers, which I don't know how y'all feel about it, but me personally, Clippers organization, I am not impressed. I feel like you could have did better. I feel like you could have did better, like to me. And I could absolutely be wrong. And like I'm like he could be like I wasn't impressed with him when he was running with the Clippers. Not the Clippers, the Cavs. Like to me, I didn't really see anything from a coaching standpoint that Ty Lue did that had me like, yeah. If I was running a franchise, I would want that guy as my head coach. Nothing, not a drop, not a bit. In fact, I saw things like the passiveness and the constant deferring to LeBron. How are you deferring to LeBron and you the freaking head coach, bro? Like, nah, you can't coach my team. Not at all. Like, as a coach, I'm not deferring to not one of my players. Not when it comes to them. Not when it comes to running the team. I'm like, but so you telling me Ty Lue, the man that Iverson stepped over, has the capability coaching wise, and I know him being stepped over by Iverson has little to do with coaching, but that was just more a little sort of dig. But yeah, like you're not gonna tell me that this man has the coaching capability to take that franchise a step or two further than where they were where they ended up this year. I'm not 100% sure that you can tell me that man can get that team on the page it needs to be on, which to me they need a lot of things. One would be chemistry with each other. They don't spend enough time together on the floor. Like you got people missing for this game and then another person missing for that game, and I understand certain people were hurt. I understand certain people was missing chicken wings and things of that nature. I'm not okaying it, but I'm not bashing. I'm just saying, like, that team had a lot of things going on. You got Kawhi doing game management, playing every other game and stuff like that. Paul George, I don't know who this dude is anymore. Like, I want to give him his props and his just due because I know who the man was before he basically needed a new leg. And, even with the Thunder, he came back and he balled out. But it's just like, he ain't who he used to be. And then you stick him by Kawhi, and I'm sorry, but Kawhi, bro, you got to play. Like, that's the only way that team is going to get used to you and comfortable with you playing. Like, you could pull up like that. Bro, you played in the East last year. This ain't the East. You're in the West now. Everybody coming for that neck. You know what I mean? So you can't do it by yourself at all, in the least bit. You know, you lucked up and ran through the East and then ran up on, I think that was, who did Toronto beat in the championship? I think it was the Warriors. You ran up on a wounded dog version of the Warriors, like Clay down. And people talk about stuff, but I'm sorry, like, yeah, that man his props too. But like, overall, that team was missing a lot when you talk about that year that Toronto won that chip. And it's not to this, I don't say that to discredit it or downplay it. It happened, they won it. It is what it is. Hats off Drake and all y'all niggas. But this ain't the same, especially this year. That wasn't the same situation you were in that year, bro. You ran up on the Nuggets. And them boys, they compete. They compete. And they young and getting better. Like, Murray wasn't playing with y'all. Not even a little bit. That man was out for blood. And you telling me, and you get kind of, I felt like I saw some kind of, I guess, like personality clashes at certain points. Like they didn't have an identity. Like when you, like bro, I think y'all had them down 3-1, and you let them come back and beat you. So like, nah. I'm not convinced that Ty Lue can fix that. I'm not convinced that he can get that organization and that team back on track where it needs to be. Like I don't even think like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he done learned some stuff from Doc, you know. But I feel like just maybe Doc should have. Well, I can't say that because maybe that split. Maybe it was time for that split because Doc done had his run there, and it's been lackluster. Like he is yet to kind of really break that ceiling that he broke through when him and the Celtics finally won that championship after getting the chemistry and the defensive mentality properly implemented into KG and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and them boys to obtain a championship. So, I don't know, like, and yes, for all of you being judgmental, just like every other episode, well, with the exception of the Architect Records episode, I'm outside, I'm on the porch, I'm enjoying fresh air, so deal with it, niggas. You know, I got background noise. Stop being so judgmental and enjoy the pod. But yeah, there's that. That's my take on that. What else? I usually don't get into stuff like this, but no, I'm not even going there with it. I'm sorry, I drew a blank. Something flashed across my face. I don't know. I say stuff like that is why, like I said, I can admit that there is some kind of a certain level of, as much as I enjoy flying by the seat of my pants when it comes to this, especially when I'm with Cal, I can understand that there is some structure needed, there's some stability needed. So yeah, enjoy the randomness while I work on it. Trying to see, because we're just all over the place. I'm not gonna speak on the Meg Tory Lane's crap because, one, he just not being charged, so I'm not speaking on it. I don't know what, I don't usually speak on stuff like this, like other people's relationships, but if you the kind of person, whether it be a female or a male or whatever, if you the kind of person who's familiar or kind of in the loop or whatever, let me know what's going on with Cardi and old buddy, because one minute they getting divorced, next minute something about she did it as an extreme measure to teach him a lesson, which I can understand. I don't know. Like, let's see. We ain't touched on much music. I ain't touched on no music yet. So apparently I'm going. We can do I seen Black Thought release a joint. I gotta check that out. Streams of Thought Volume 3 can't enable. I'm gonna have to check that out. Definitely gotta look into that. I'm not really seeing anything else this weekend that catch my eye that I know I'm gonna check for. Yep, nope. Looking at a list, and I see nothing that I might want to hear. So that's that. Guess that's all for music. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, not boys and girls, because, like, this ain't for kids. But yeah, with that being said, I think I'm going to end this episode because I know just like 40 minutes of me by myself is probably a bit much for y'all to deal with. And if you've made it this far, then I'm so thankful, I'm thankful, and I greatly appreciate it. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time, you guys. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your views and your support on all of the platforms that we are on. That's for people who don't feel I'm worth the investment or we're worth the investment just yet. It's cool, I understand it. We on YouTube. For those who do feel like we are worth the investment, I appreciate it, because that means we're on Anchor, Spotify, we're on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public. So yeah, if you feel like we're worth the investment, check us out on any of those platforms, including YouTube, for those who just want to hit play on a video and let it ride. Honestly, I'm not sure when or where I'm going to implement actual video. I know I do have in the works to do at least one episode of video, because I think that episode absolutely is going to require it to a certain degree. Well, not require it, but I would like to do it with the visual. But other than that, man, I'm just focused on trying to give y'all the best content I can, keep you guys informed. Oh yeah, we'll do that another time. So again, I'm gonna close this out. I appreciate y'all listening and y'all support. If you're on YouTube watching this, hit the like button, you know what I'm saying, hit the notifications, share. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.
Science got the formula.